जयो कुंज बिहारी जयो भानुमाधव जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जन रंजन जय ब्रज जन रंजन जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जन रंजन जयो ब्रज जना रंजना जयो यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जना रंजना जयो ब्रज जना रंजना जयो यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जना रंजना जयो ब्रज जना रंजना जयो यमुना तीरावनचारि जय कुंज बिहारी जयो कुंज बिहारी जयो यमुना तीरावनचारि जय कुंज बिहारी जयो कुंज बिहारी जयो यमुना तीरावनचारि जय कुंज बिहारी जयो कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari. Nitai Gora Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Hari Ram Sankirtan Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतेरोत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 10th, Chapter 58. On the board, verse number 20 is there. So we'll recite verse number 20. Shri Kalindi Uvacha Aham Devasya Savitur Dohita Patim Ichchati Vishnum Varenyam Varadam Tapah Paramam Astitah. Shri Kalindi Uvacha Aham Devasya Savitur Dohita Patimichati Vishnum Varenyam Varadam Tapah Paramam Astitah. Shri Kalindi Uvacha Aham Devasya Savitur Dohita Patimichati Vishnum Varenyam Varadam Tapah Paramam Astitah. Mataji's. Word to word meaning. Shri Kalindi Uvacha. Shri Kalindi said, Aham, I, Devasya, of the demigod, Savituhu, Savita, the sun god, Duhita, the daughter, Patim, as my husband, Ichchati, desiring, Vishnum, Lord Vishnu, Varenyam, the most choice, Varadam, bestower of one's choice, Tapaha, in austerities, Paramam, extreme, Asthitaha, engaged. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Kalindi said, I am the daughter of the sun god. I desire to get as my husband the most excellent and munificent Lord Vishnu, and to that end I am performing severe penances. Purport. As Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out, Srimati Kalindi correctly understood that Lord Vishnu, being the source of all benedictions, is the supreme husband and thus can fulfill all the desires of his wife. So let us chant prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिते नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी शिराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So should I speak in Hindi or English? Yes, Hindi, English, Hindi, English. Okay. So I would like to seek blessings from all the Vaishnavas who are present here, uh, all my equals, all my seniors, and my juniors also to bless me so that I can speak something for the pleasure of Krishna, for the pleasure of devotees, and for my own purification. So when we speak Srimad Bhagavatam, it's not uh, the presentation of one's skill, or it's not the presentation of one's knowledge. It's done for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas and it's done for one's own purification. And that is something very important, that whenever we are speaking, so it's done for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas. So here, when very important episode is coming, and this chapter describes about Krishna marrying his five wives. Krishna had 16,108 wives. So for 8 wives, it was different. For 16,100, it was different. So this chapter tells us about his marrying his 5 wives. And the first one was Kalindi, Mother Yamuna. So uh, in this uh, uh, episode, actually, uh, Krishna went to the banks of Yamuna and there he saw one lady and he sends Arjuna to find out who is that lady. And that lady tells that I have been doing tapasya, meditation here for having Lord Vishnu as my husband. And Prabhupada says one very important point here, that Mother Kalindi, she understood that Krishna is the shelter. I'm changing little bit words. Krishna is the source of all benedictions and is the supreme husband. So husband means he gives shelter to the wife. So for all the living entities, Krishna is the ultimate shelter. So in 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a story which comes about Gajendra. So Gajendra, in his previous life, he was King Indradumna. And King Indradumna was uh, once worshipping the Supreme Lord in the forest, and somehow he did some mistake. He forgot to welcome one very great sage, and he was in his meditation. And then the sage, in order to emphatically make a statement that whenever the Vaishnavas are there, and if some devotees are coming, devotees of Lord, so whatever you are doing, you should give that up and you should welcome the devotees of Lord, because Lord is very happy with that. Because if we give importance only to the Lord, Krishna is not happy with that. Krishna is happy when we have complete understanding of Krishna consciousness. Incomplete understanding of Krishna consciousness means myself and Krishna only. And complete understanding of Krishna consciousness means myself, Krishna, and his devotees. And without the mercy of Vaishnavas, I cannot do anything in my Krishna consciousness. So that is the proper matured understanding. That's why it is said that at least one should be a Madhyam Adhikari. One should not need not be a Uttam Adhikari, that will take some time. But one should be a Madhyam Adhikari who has a proper understanding of his position, of the position of Krishna, and also he has proper understanding about the Vaishnavas who are there around. So King Indradumna somehow he could not welcome Angira Muni, who came and then he was cursed by Angira Muni to become an elephant. And then in his next life, he was not a normal elephant. He became an elephant in the celestial world. And he had many wives and he was like the king of the forest. And he was leading a very wonderful and happy life. So once he goes to the pond or whatever river for taking bath, and it was a very happy time. And out of nowhere, he was taking bath. He was nicely enjoying with his entire family, with his entire all the children were there. Everything was there. And out of nowhere, the crocodile comes. One crocodile who was staying in that river and catches his feet. And then uh, uh, initially, actually, he was very proud of his strength. Gajendra was very much proud of his strength. He knew that because an elephant has a lot of power. Even lion cannot, lion cannot also kill an elephant or defeat an elephant. Lions are also stay away from elephant most of the times. If elephant his height is less or something, then they may think of attacking him. But big elephant, they don't, and generally they try to attack from the behind. So anyhow, point is even lions, they also stay away from the elephant. So he was very proud of his strength. He felt merely it's not such a big thing for me. I can just handle it so easily and this problem will go away very easily. One thing we understand in this material, in this context, that in this material world, problems come, like last time I was telling, problems come uninvited. No one wants to invite problems in his life, but still the problems will come. No one goes to pray Krishna that Krishna send me the problems, because already there are enough. Only Mother Kunti can pray that, okay, Krishna, please send the problem so that I can remain focused. Here we are already tormented so much. Still, of course, we are not able to focus. That's why problems are there. But no one prays to Krishna for that. But still problems come. And sometimes externally there may not be any reason for the problem. Like for Gajendra, did he went and disturb the crocodile? Did he went and show, okay, what are you doing now? I am the king here, boss here, get out. Then they start fighting. No, out of nowhere, the crocodile attacked. So that's how this material world works. Right? So that's why Srila Prabhupada used to say again and again that if miseries are coming on their own, then happiness will also come on its own. You don't have to too much bother about it. Like I was just discussing with some of the devotees that how sometimes when I was 3 4 years back, 4 5 years back, some problems would come, and there would be problems. There would be problems for everyone, whoever he may be, whether he is in whichever external situation he may be, whether he's a brahmachari, he's a grahastha, everyone's there is a problem everywhere. So sometimes we would think, okay, now this problem, and we would get thoroughly engaged in trying to solve the problem. Somehow our sadhana would get weak. Sometimes it happens, right? Some people are like good time devotees. When everything is going good, then their sadhana and everything goes wonderful. Some people are bad time devotees. When everything goes bad, then they take shelter of Krishna. When things are good, they go away from Krishna. And some people are evergreen. So they are like always, whether it is good or bad, we have to be there and we have to take shelter of Krishna. So I would think that Shishi Gaurnita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we would think that, okay, now this problem is there. Let me get thoroughly, but it would happen. We would just get absorbed in the problem. Our Krishna consciousness would go down and we would keep doing efforts. And after some time, somehow or other, the problem would get solved on its own. We would say, hey, how it happened? It was so difficult. And after some time, it just gets solved. So then the understanding would come. I think this will keep happening. We just have to focus on Krishna consciousness. Still, that conviction has not come. Means after spending so much time, still we get engaged and distracted by the problems, right? So the problems in this world, they come without any notice most of the times. At least Parikshit Maharaj got a notice that that is coming 7 days after. But most of the times it comes without any notice. And most of the times the purification means, when we talk about purification in Krishna consciousness, so purification in Krishna consciousness means unexpected trouble. If you are expecting some trouble, you get mentally prepared for it. So Krishna is also very intelligent. If he wants to shake you up, if he wants to make you surrendered, then what he will do? He will send those type of situations which you have not expected. Like for example, when we were giving the exam of JE. So JE means, nowadays JE means. So JE means expected trouble. Those problems you can expect, right? Those, it's like a repeated, most of the times repeated pattern. And when we talk about JE advanced, it should be, it is expected that unexpected trouble. Such problems which you might never have seen in the past, right? The problems generally don't repeat there, right? So similarly, when we talk about real test, if you have to really be tested, then such situation should be created in your life which you have not expected. Then only it's a purification. If you can choose your purification, okay, this whole shelf is there, I'm in a shopping mall, and let me choose what purification I'm looking for, right? So that doesn't happen, because life is not like a shopping mall. And especially when we talk about Krishna consciousness, it's not at all. Everything happens by the will of Krishna. So Gajendra, he suddenly the trouble came in his life, and he was very confident that I will be able to handle it, and I will be easily able to just kill this crocodile, right? But somehow the situation was something else, right? And the fight went on for almost thousand celestial years. They kept on fighting, no result, right? And then initially, he had so many shelters. He had shelter of his own body, strong intelligence. He was not a normal elephant. He was a celestial elephant. So he had a strong body, lot of intelligence. And then he also had his family who were crying for him behind. And so everything was going on. So the family stayed there for some time, and the fight went on. And then family tried to help him. So family didn't want to get into trouble. So they started pulling the tail of Gajendra. Can you imagine? They started pulling the tail of Gajendra, and this went on. Sometimes the Gajendra would be seen in take advantageous situation. Sometimes the crocodile. No one was winning, right? But somehow the situation was that crocodile was in water. He was a water animal, right? So when you are in your own elements, right? Suppose you, uh, it's like when you go to the enemy's territory. So there it is difficult to defeat the enemy because he knows everything. This is the rule of war. Because he knows everything. He knows, okay, what is the terrain, where I can hide, where the enemies cannot find me. He knows everything, right? So when you talk about in his own elements, so crocodile was in his own elements. So he was in advantageous situation. Slowly, Gajendra started losing all his strength. And then he saw one by one, all his family members went away. After pulling his tail, they went away. They could not do anything, right? So then what to do? So then actually Krishna had purposefully put him in this situation to take to make him take complete shelter of himself, because Krishna doesn't settles for anything less. If you are anything less, then Krishna will keep creating some situation in your life to make you more surrendered. So then what happened? He started remembering his previous uh, life. and the prayers he had learned, the prayers he had offered to Lord, and suddenly he got realization, nothing will work now. Only thing which will work is if I take shelter of Krishna. So then immediately he started offering wonderful prayers to Krishna. He took the lotus flower. Then and there in that situation, he didn't try to remove the crocodile. He just then and there in that situation, he started offering prayers to the Lord. And then after some time, the Lord appeared. It says that Lord was very eagerly seeing. Okay, when he calls me with his full intensity, and as soon as he did it, immediately Lord rushed to the place and then immediately helped him and liberated him and took him back home, back to Godhead. Right? So similarly, in this material world, we will have so many shelters. There is relative shelter and there is absolute shelter, right? So relative shelter means the shelter of all the things which we see in this material world, they are all relative because they are dependent on the absolute shelter, right? If you go to the doctor, you may have to go to the doctor, right? Everything we cannot do. Like for example, if you are a devotee, sometimes devotees feel we can do everything being a devotee. That is not possible. Everything we cannot do. So sometimes we may have to go to the doctor. But until unless Krishna doesn't sanction, the doctor's medicine is not going to work. If you want to save somebody, if Krishna doesn't sanction, he's not going to save. He is not going to be saved. Right? So there is relative shelter. There is a shelter of our own strength, our own capabilities, our own intelligence. We have all these things and we feel okay. Let me get, like sometimes we would do some service and it would be a really tough service. And when tough service is there, really, you feel challenged. Okay, now I have been challenged and let me try to make it happen. And sometimes we would just get absorbed and we'll do something. It was like something like playing around and doing something, and things would manifest. You say, oh, amazing. But then we would get a clear indication that I was in trouble. I had not means I had done some things in the means I had not taken timely action because of which I got in trouble. Sometimes it happens when you are doing some service, you make it little late, and then you are in trouble. Ab kaise kare? Especially in management, it happens. So then you are in trouble little bit, and then you start getting and problem solving mode. This that everything you are doing, and suddenly from nowhere the help comes from nowhere. The help will come. Some devotee will come, some help will come, something will happen, and everything will go on smoothly. And at the end of the day, you are like, oh, I have done it. But ultimately, we have to understand that you have not done it. It was Krishna who helped you. You had created a mesh. But somehow, Krishna was there behind you to shelter you and to help you. That's how somehow things got manifested. Right? So there are so many shelters in this world, whether it is our own strength, whether it is our own money, whether it is the relatives, the friends, everything. But ultimately, we have to understand that the ultimate shelter is Krishna. Everything happens by the will of Krishna. And if Krishna doesn't will, if Krishna doesn't sanctions, then nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to if we are making our efforts and if Krishna's desire is not there, Krishna's sanction is not there, things are not going to manifest. That's what we have to understand. So here Mother Kalindi was very intelligent. She knew that Krishna is the ultimate shelter. So let me take shelter of Krishna only. And that's what is a devotee. A devotee knows that, okay, I may have so many different material shelters, which in the situation, depending on the situation, we may have to do that. We may have to do practical things. Because Prabhupada says that Krishna is there for you. Krishna does everything for his devotee. But it doesn't mean that devotee goes inside a room and covers himself with a bedsheet and sleeps permanently. Means not permanently, sleeps a lot. Right? That is not a devotee. Krishna told Arjuna what he told. He said, I have done everything. You just become an instrument. I have done everything for you. These people are already killed. It's there in their destiny. And I have fixed everything. Now you just become an instrument. If you don't become, someone else will become. Right? So that's why for us, we have to do our proper duties. That is what is Krishna consciousness. Whichever situation you are put in, just try your best, give your best. Right? When Srila Prabhupada went to the uh, 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 America, when he went to West, Krishna told him that I have done everything. Just do uh, your part. That's it. Krishna already told him. So this, and when once Srila Prabhupada was sitting with one old man, and that time nothing was there. Nothing was there. And then this old man asked, so Swamiji, can you, or whatever he might have called, that time people would not know the word Swamiji, whatever it is, he might have said Swami or something. So can you tell about something about your movement? What is this your institution all about? He said there are thousands of temples, there are thousands of devotees chanting Hare Krishna, there are many restaurants where people are coming and receiving prasadam. The entire vision and the entire thing was very clear to him. And during that time, nothing was there. And slowly it started getting manifested. Right? So that's why Krishna said that things are done already. You just become an instrument. Right? So that's why a devotee, he always tries to become an instrument. Wherever you are put in, just try to do your duty in a Krishna conscious way. That's what is Krishna consciousness. Because ultimately, Krishna will do his job. Krishna will do his part. Guru and Krishna, they will do their part. Right? We just have to do our part. That is what is Krishna consciousness. And for a devotee, he is very intelligent. He knows where to take shelter. He knows that ultimately Krishna is my only shelter. There is no other shelter, right? And as we grow in our Krishna, because see, it's not just about externally going to a demigod. When we talk about taking shelter of Krishna, so it's not about externally you go and आप कहीं भी, you are not going to any other demigod, you are not going to Lord Shiva, you are not going to Mother Kali and everything, and you are not offering your prayers. Yes, that is one thing. You should only take shelter of Krishna, no other demigods. But it is also about one's internal conviction. It's also about when you are chanting, what you are thinking about. If you are thinking about something else, and if you are not trying to focus, not struggling to focus, because at our level we struggle. It's not that we'll be able to focus. So we are not struggling to focus on chanting. That means we have some other shelter. We feel that by doing thinking about those things, and we'll become happy. We'll try to manifest something. We think about some service. We think about we think about something, anything. If some devotee has misbehaved with us, we think about him. If some situation is going wrong, we think about that, right? But ultimately, when we are chanting, there was one person, one devotee who came to us. He came in Albert Road, and he came for teaching yoga. But one very important, because sometimes externally yoga can help in better chanting if you maintain your body nicely, external posture, and sometimes even yoga can help. If you know how to manage your mind, you can do better chanting provided you have the right attitude. That is most important. But so he was telling us something. So he said one very important thing. He said that if the thought comes that what will happen to my service, so we should think, okay, Krishna is there. If I take shelter of Krishna, everything will be right. So just chant the holy name nicely. Similarly, if the thought comes, okay, this devotee has misbehaved with me, my relation with this devotee is not going well, chant Hare Krishna. Krishna will set everything. Right now is the time. Just chant Hare Krishna. Forget about everything. So like that. So when we do that, then we are actually taking shelter of Krishna, and we are avoiding other shelters. Sometimes it feels that we are the only people who are taking anxiety. We fill our head with so much anxiety, so much tension, that as if we are the entire creator, and we are the entire maintainer of this entire world, whoever, whatever the world is, right? And it's not. We are not. We are not the creator. We are not the maintainer. Neither we are the destroyers. Nothing. We are nothing. We are just an instrument. We have been put in some situation. Just do your duty. If Krishna doesn't, Prabhupada used to say, if Krishna doesn't gives you strength to lift your hand, you will not be able to lift your hand. If Krishna doesn't gives me intelligence to speak, I will not be able to speak. I will forget everything. If I start, sometimes it happens. People, they go to go at this, go to means Go in front of the people, audience, so many people are sitting, they forget everything. Earlier, long before, like initially, I would get a little bit doubts. I would feel, now we are used to of facing the audience, but earlier we would get doubts. अरे चेहरा तो मुझे भूल ना जाए. Can you imagine? Prayers भूल ना जाए, right? Or what we are going to speak, वो भूल ना जाए, right? So ultimately, then we understand, Krishna, you are the source of all forgetfulness, and you are the source of all remembrance. Please give me the right remembrance so that we can speak something proper, right? So that's why Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna is the ultimate shelter. That's what we have to understand. And a devotee, he always understands that. He understands that if I am going to doctor, this medicine will only work if Krishna sanctions. And he also understands that, like for example, like for Indradyumna, for Chitraketu Maharaj, trouble came without. Uh, that was not apparently there was little bit of a mistake, but it was not such a big mistake that he should be punished to become a demon. Similarly, for Parikshit Maharaj, he did a mistake, but it was not such a big mistake that he is punished to die within 7 days. If you would have kept a live snake on the Rishi, then snake would have bitten Rishi and Rishi would have got into trouble. Then it's like that type of punishment can be given. He just garland. That was a sort of disrespect, sort of. And he could have been given a lighter punishment. But immediately the curse, with you should die within 7 days. Right? So the point is, in this world, whatever happened. Now, Parikshit Maharaj, what was his reaction? Chitraketu Maharaj, what was his reaction? Indradumna Maharaj, what was his reaction? They were devotees of Krishna or Lord. They said nothing happens without the will of Krishna. If this trouble has come here, if this Brahmana has got the strength to speak, intelligence to speak, then it means it is Krishna. Nothing happens. Even the blade of grass doesn't move without the will of Krishna. So if Shringi has, maybe he would have got paralysis before speaking. If Krishna would not have wanted it, if Krishna would not have wanted him to curse, something would have happened. He would have forgotten, right? He would have, instead of developing enmity towards Parikshit Maharaj, he would develop love for Parikshit Maharaj. His mouth would have become paralyzed. Something would have happened. The very fact that the words have been uttered for a devotee, for a non-devotee, the material word means Krishna does it indirectly through the material energy. But for a devotee, if those words have come out, means it is sanctioned by Krishna. Nothing, because Krishna has made. Now we have taken shelter. So Krishna has made that thing. He is always there to protect us. But if something comes, means he has allowed it. He has allowed it. So the trouble comes with the will of Krishna, and you keep fighting, you keep doing your duties. The trouble will go away only if Krishna wills. And as long as Krishna wills, you will be in that situation. And when you are in that situation, understand, just like a mother is there. So if mother sometimes may give you some slap, or sometimes the mother may want to give you some medicine. So she may forcefully give you some medicine. So it's similarly Krishna, he wants us to become surrendered. That is what is his desire. He doesn't settles for anything less. And if we are anything less, the troubles and the purification will keep coming till the time. Like there was a very famous lecture of Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. It says about Maya will not let you go until you surrender. Maya will not let you go. And for us, what do we mean by Maya will not let us go? It means Maya will keep sending something. By the will of Krishna, there will be something or other. If you don't completely surrender to Krishna. If we settle for anything else less, then Krishna will keep creating something or other thing to make you 100%. Right? So that is what is the thing. So that's why a devotee, uh, he always takes shelter of Krishna. He is cognizant of the fact that everything is happening by the will of Krishna. Nothing. Uh, if you remember like when you see this video, final lesson, like there's one video, final lesson, which describes about the departure of Srila Prabhupada from this material world. So in that, it shows that even during his last days, he was translating Srimad Bhagvatam, and he says everything is moving by the will of Krishna. So everything is moving by the will of Krishna. Everything is happening by the will of Krishna. Not even a blade of grass moves without the will of Krishna, and this is fact. And devotee has faith on it. If you don't have faith, then for many materialistic people, they don't have faith on Krishna. We have Krishna. We know. Whenever some trouble comes, you know, okay, he's there. And whatever he is doing, it's for my good. Let me just be patient. So that's why devotees are very gratefully able to face the situations. They feel grateful to Krishna. Oh, thank you for purifying me and for uh, making me more surrendered. Devotee prays to Krishna. Similarly, devotees, they feel grateful to Krishna, right? Because they are able to see Krishna. Only then only you will be able to be grateful to him. So they are grateful to Krishna. For materialistic people, there is no shelter. If they believe that there is no God, then what is the shelter? There is no higher shelter. There is only shelter is their own body, their own senses, their mind, and their relatives, their money, their qualification. That's it. Right? So for us, we are in a very safe situation. We are in a very safe situation. We have shelter of Krishna. We have shelter of devotees. We have shelter of spiritual master. We have shelter of scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagvatam and other scriptures. And so many shelters, right? We have shelter of prasadam. So we have so many shelters, right? So we are very, very fortunate that we have got so many shelters, right? And anytime, whenever we are in any difficulty, we will always have hope. That's what is a devotee, hope against hope. But of course, this hope is not about solving the material problems. The hope is about, I will get the mercy of Krishna. And basically, we have already received the mercy of Krishna. This I have already, I think, spoken. The very fact that we are sitting here, the very fact the prasadam plate is coming in front of you, did we do anything apart from paying money? Those who are working, those who are not working, brahmacharis, like when I was in Albert Road, I would feel I have not done anything for this prasadam, but still it is coming by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So we have not done much, right? The prasadam is coming. We are chanting. We are hearing Bhagavatam. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We are hearing from the spiritual master. We are already blessed. Already the blessing is there. We have to realize it, maybe in due course of time. Right? So that's why being devotees, we have to be very firm in taking shelter of Krishna, and we have to understand that whether it is good or bad, everything happens by the sanction of Krishna, by the will of Krishna, and it's about how to become more surrendered. And when you see Krishna, uh, like for example, when this last example, then I will finish. Sometimes when a young child is there, so when young child is there, if the mother beats him, he doesn't understand, right? Doesn't understand ki what is happening. He feels very angry on the mother. She says, "Arey, what is this?" She always keeps troubling. The mother tells, "Okay, please study." The father tells, "Study nicely." Oh, what is this? The father may not allow them to. Sometimes it happens, like there is like when we go to coaching, sometimes there is a parents-teacher meeting, and one of the biggest things which happens is these people are watching too much mobile, and this is happening. Itna shikayat, and the son or the daughter is thinking, "Arey bapre, so much," right? So sometimes they may not be able to understand. Sometimes the parents may become very strict. They don't understand. But later, when you achieve success in your life, when you do something, then you understand, oh, they did this, that's why now I am sitting here. So similarly, for us also, when troubles come, at that time our intelligence gets completely blocked. That's why it is a trouble. If you are able to make it out, right? It says in Srimad Bhagavatam first canto also that even demigods cannot understand what is plan of Krishna. If only Krishna reveals in your heart or through his representative, then you will understand what is the plan of Krishna. We really don't know. Only thing we have to keep guessing. Okay, this is the plan of Krishna. Oh, I don't know. Maybe this is the plan of Krishna. Maybe. Right? But we have to understand that ultimately, when we go through this situation, when you are out of that, in that situation, you will not understand what was actually the plan of Krishna. But spend some time, become purified, do your basics, sadhana and everything. And when that situation goes, you are past that situation, then what will happen? Then you will understand, okay, this was actually the plan of Krishna. And if Krishna would not have created this situation, maybe I would not have advanced. Right? Like Srila Prabhupada said, this last part, Srila Prabhupada said that when he was there in his life, normal life, and then there were troubles, and because of troubles, then he came out and he went to Vrindavan. There was a fight. Fight means there was some misunderstanding between Srila Prabhupada and his wife, and then he said, enough is enough. Now let me go out. And then he went, and then he went to Vrindavan, and then once Srila Prabhupada was telling in one of his uh, lectures, he said that earlier I had how many children? Five. No, 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 no. He had three sons, and I think he had two daughters. Five, whatever. So he said earlier I had this many children. Now I have so many children, right? And now I'm able to do so much service to Krishna. I'm much better off. Right? People, it's like, right? So the thing is, I'm able to do better service to Krishna. Similarly, of course, externally looking also, Prabhupada was treated like a king. It was that. So similarly, sometimes Krishna may create some situation, something in our life, and we may be puzzled what is happening, why it is happening. But when we cross through it, then we understand, okay, whatever happened was for our own good, was for our purification, and now Krishna has taken away one thing, and he has given me something better. Because if Krishna takes away something, he will only take, because Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. So he protects and he gives. So if he has taken away means he will also give you something. Right? When Krishna starts taking, so you have only two hands. You cannot do anything. He will anyhow take everything away. Right? And when Krishna starts giving, so he has unlimited hands. You will not be able to handle it. So that's how Srila Prabhupada tells all these things in his video. So thank you very much. I hope I am not spoken beyond my realization. I seek forgiveness.